Okay, like we said, this is for veteran teachers, and we're talking about Right to Learn. And my name is Matt Gill. I am the one who manages Right to Learn for the state of South Dakota. And I did this as well. I did this last year as well. And here's my contact information. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to email me or give me a call. And using the live meeting, *6 is to mute, #6 is to unmute. The Q&A box up in the top, that's what you'll use to type in questions. And handouts, we already talked about that. I guess we already kind of talked about all of this. And what today will look like, first off, we'll just give a little bit of background on Right to Learn. We'll talk about the state requirements. We'll show you a demonstration of Right to Learn for what it looks like to teachers and to students. Troubleshooting ideas for the classroom, additional resources, and then at the end, if you have questions, we'll answer any questions. So a little bit of background. The state law requires that 5th, 7th, and 10th graders are tested on their writing skills. So this means that students in 5th, 7th, and 10th grade, they need to be tested on writing skills. What we use to do this is Right to Learn. And as you remember from last year, same thing, Right to Learn is a program where teachers pick the essay, students write in their essay response, and they get immediate feedback for it. And we at the state only look at the participation, so we don't look at your scores, it's participation only. And the state requires all students in grades 5, 7, and 10 to participate in Right to Learn. And students must submit 2 separate writing submissions, and this is to 2 different essay prompts. So they can't just write to one essay, write an essay, and then change a couple words on it, click get feedback again. That would only count as one. They have to actually write to 2 separate writings, or two separate writing prompts. And they can do this anytime between now and April 30th. April 30th is the last day, so they have a very long window to get these 2 essays done. All right, and alternate students. D-Step A students are required to take the alternate writing assessment or participate in Right to Learn as indicated on their IEP. So whatever it says on their IEP, that's what you follow. And the alternate writing assessment will follow similar guidelines. It's also 2 submissions. And if you want more information, you go to that website right there. It's just doe.sd.gov, and you can search for alt assessment there. And the contact person for this is Michelle Martin. Her email is just michelle.martin@state.sd.us. And students who participate in the D-Step A may meet the writing assessment requirement by using the Right to Learn program if it is appropriate for their learning needs. So that's the main thing. We just want to do what is appropriate for these students' learning needs. All right, with that, I'm going to go out to the Right to Learn website, just show you the DOE Right to Learn site. I just need to pull this up really quick. All right, so this is the Department of Education homepage, just doe.sd.gov. To get to the Right to Learn page, notice Assessment and Accountability is one of these tabs. Hover over that, then you see Assessment. Hover over that. Then if you go over here down to Right to Learn, I click on that. And this is the Right to Learn page. So if you ever want more information, here's information right here. For teachers, there's sample scoring rubrics, sample grading scale, classroom ideas, frequently asked questions, Right to Learn listserv. All the webinars that we do, we post them right here. So the recordings are all posted right here. Documents, if you need any of these documents, they're here. The PowerPoints are here. I need to update those as well, though. State requirements, changes that happened last year, timeline, and then off-grade licenses. If you at your district want to purchase off-grade licenses for grades 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, or 12, it is $10 per student. And the person you talk to about purchasing these is Carrie Austin. She works for Pearson, and her email address is right here, carrie.austin@pearson.com. And then once again down here is my name and number. So just want to make sure you know how to get a hold of me. And if you need technical support to WriteToLearn, there is a support team from Pearson. Here's their, if you go to this link right here, you have the ability to email, to chat, and there's other product support there as well. And you can also call them between 8 and 8 Eastern. So that is the WriteToLearn website. Are there any questions at this time? All right. And with that, I would like to introduce Sue Antal. She is the channel director, and she works for Pearson and works right with WriteToLearn. And she's going to walk us through a little bit of the changes that have happened in WriteToLearn, as well as going into the interfaces.
Thank you, Matt. Let me just do a quick sound check and make sure that everyone can hear me okay.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, okay. So Matt is still advanced the next slide. I'll give a little preview of what I intend to share with you for the next maybe 40 minutes. I realize that you guys are veteran teachers. I've been with the Pearson WriteToLearn South Dakota writing program since its inception. And we are now, as you know, on our fourth year. And so today's presentation really is more about the enhancements we made to the product this year, and specifically how WriteToLearn supports lives to the Common Core standards for literacy. But before I get into that, I'm going to give you guys just again a brief product overview. We're going to talk a little bit more about roles and responsibilities. I think those are important reminders when we get started with the new school year. I'll go into the product live and call out some of the newer features that are available. And then, again, we'll wrap up with WriteToLearn and how it supports those new standards. I do have Q&A at the very end, but the fact of the matter is I'll stop in some key places and I'll ask Matt if any questions have been typed or chatted in, and I'll be happy to address that. Okay, so next slide. All right, so I think you all are pretty familiar with the product, but just as a reminder, what really makes WriteToLearn unique is it's not just a writing tool. We consider it a literacy tool because it takes advantage of the reciprocal value between reading and writing. Knowing that better readers become better writers and better writers become better readers, we put these two important components into a single tool called WriteToLearn. So students use or can respond to essay topics and receive immediate feedback on specific traits of writing. We also offer a holistic score. And the feedback includes suggestions on what they can do to improve their writing along the way as they engage in that cycle, write, get feedback, revise. The other component within WriteToLearn, which is available for your use but is not required, is the summary writing activity. And they work very well with build reading comprehension. And with Common Core and its emphasis on the student's ability to understand and express informational text, and I'm excited to share with you that this component of WriteToLearn is used as much, if not more, across grade levels in the U.S. with students. It is not more than the essay writing component. So while essay writing, I must stress, is the requirement And these essay prompts and reading passages are across curriculum. You'll find ones in the areas of science and social studies, history, and new argument-based prompts for course documents. So all good things. Okay, next slide, please. All right, and this one is really, we'll just go through the bullets, starting with the fact that WriteToLearn for essay writing provides that immediate evaluation of students' essays with supporting feedback on 6 traits of writing, and those are the 6 traits noted there. For the summary writing, WriteToLearn includes nearly 1,000 reading passages across subject areas. And we have evidence that shows that the use of the summary writing component has been shown to increase a student's reading comprehension skills by 1 full grade level in as few as 4 to 6 weeks. Again, it's really become a very popular component within WriteToLearn. And I know that has a lot to do with Concord, but also simply because summary writing is really the #1 way to improve reading comprehension skills. Now, if you haven't been using this component, you may not be aware of the fact that last year we added in all new personalized vocabulary exercises. These exercises really focus on academic and domain-based vocabulary, which core states must be stressed and learned, and personalized. And I'm going to show you actually how that works, because we can run an algorithm that determines which words the student knows and doesn't know, and then takes a personalized path of instruction. Okay. So just as a reminder about the roles and responsibilities, you are testing coordinators, and let's keep in mind that experiences are already sections to this, but your testing coordinators create teacher accounts. So if you can't remember your login and password, you can reach out to your testing coordinator, or if there's a new teacher, maybe there will be a new teacher thinking, but if you are a new teacher who's attending this training today and you don't have an account, you need to see your testing coordinator for the creation of an account. Testing coordinators also have the ability to establish a relationship between the teacher and the classroom. So those testing coordinators can not only create your teacher account, but they can also create a class for you as well. That's optional. We just completed some testing coordinator training, and that we made sure that that was optional. And then I think we've got creating new teacher accounts twice in there. So for the next training, you can go ahead and remove that last bullet under testing coordinators.
Okay.
As for teachers, your job is to create your classes and enroll students in your class. You have the ability, if you like, based on student ability level, to really break up classes based on ability level. So if you have a single class and you have identified 2 or maybe 3 distinct ability levels, you could set up a class for each one of those ability levels. It's completely up to you. And then you need to also assign activities or prompts to your class so they can begin writing and start to satisfy the stage requirements. And students get all fun. Believe it or not, I never thought I would say this. I know I didn't feel this way personally as a youngster writing, being requested to write an essay, but they actually do have us as a program. And I think one of the things they like the most is that it's engaging. They receive that immediate feedback, and they do it in a way, or receive it in a way that's kind of game-like. And I've actually witnessed students who get excited, really excited about getting a passing score. So we think that we've created a product that allows students to not only strengthen their writing skills, 75 bucks. Okay, so I think at this point, let's see what the next slide is. I think we're going to go live into application, and while Matt is getting that set up, this would be an ideal time to see if there are any questions at all about what I've covered so far, or just any questions, even if I haven't covered it yet. Okay, well, I'm thinking that so far everybody understands what we've got going on here, and we'll get into that demonstration here quickly. And just as a reminder, we'll show you how the tool works from the student perspective, and I don't plan to spend a tremendous amount of time out since you are veteran teachers, but really focus on calling out the new features and functionality that now students can WriteToLearn. We had an August 14th release, and we had one that will be going out next week on September 17th. So we actually, for the first time ever in the history of the product, that we put out 2 product releases this fall, and I think it's a testimony to the amount of work that we're doing and the updates that we're making to the product on a very regular basis. So Matt's got the student login there, and my login password and reminder is Lisa. Okay, and probably what we want to do here is present that user run so we start fresh. And I'm just going to note a couple of changes here. If you are not aware, one of more recent things, it wasn't available last year, so it should be familiar to you, but I want to make sure you're aware of the language support that's available within WriteToLearn. So at the very top, where it says English with a drop down, students can actually select and translate the interface from English into Spanish or Chinese. And that you're able to go up there and just click that drop down just so that they can see. Okay, let's go into Spanish. There we go. So somebody asked you a good question yesterday. Did they respond in Spanish? Do they get their feedback in Spanish? Well, think of it this way. All of the core content within WriteToLearn that would include essay topics and the reading passages are in English. And what the students must compose is in English. But feedback to the students and the instructions to the student interface they are able to translate into Spanish and Chinese. The other tool that helps students that are maybe struggling readers or writers or English learners is that text hub toolbar that's over there to the upper right-hand side that I'm hovering around right now. That allows the student to highlight and play anything that's on the screen, and the red button is simply a stop button. That little book icon is actually a dictionary, and where you see a little picture in front of the book, that's an image-based dictionary. The last one that shows the double-cross arrows are English to Spanish and translator. So we think we've got some really good tools in there to help us struggling with readers and writer teachers. That's what we're doing. There we go. Very good. All right, and then just as a reminder of how the essay activities work, the students simply click on the essay and they'll go into description of a remarkable place. And if you're real familiar with the interface, you'll see that there are a couple changes here. What you see is that we added to some of the essay topics tips, or think of them as guidelines for essay writing. So those tips have been moved and they're up directly to the side of the prompt itself. And that was the design change because we wanted to make sure that students, when they started clicking on those tips, which relate directly to the prompt, they were basically reading them and then referring to a prompt that was just to the left of it. I actually think they're wonderful we're looking specifically for essay topics with tips. Make sure that when you go into the assignment tool and you look under the description, you find that it has tips. Okay, so the other thing you may have noticed to change is that you can see that the grammar and spell checker are right there in the toolbar. So as you can hover up there to where we have the grammar and spell checker in the toolbar there. So we've got spell check and the grammar check. And then that third one over, which sometimes those sites might have that as well. That's kind of a crystal ball. But the student has the ability to turn it on. That's if you make this available. This is a brand new feature in this fall's release. And it allows for a student to receive the assistance from word prediction. And basically, if half a millisecond goes by without a key stroke, and they have the word prediction on, it senses that they are looking for assistance, and they receive it as demonstrated here. Words will start to appear to help the student in composing. Now, again, if this is something you don't think you want your students to participate in, you can always go in the teacher interface on the settings tool and turn it off. But as long as it appears and it is available, then they will have the option to use it when they're proposing. And just a little bit more about that. One of the reasons that we really decided to add it is we haven't heard from Smart about it, but Smart highly decided that word prediction was an allowable accommodations for students with any kind of disabilities. And so we wanted to make sure that we provided that same kind of assistance. Otherwise, the essay writing component was just the same. I was now going to go ahead and try to copy and paste in a sample that a student wrote and click the Get Feedback button.
Yep, sorry, I forgot to have it open.
That's okay, no problem. I think I just gave you some new examples. There we go. I think you're in the summary one now.
Yep, I'm just opening them both.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
Start with pour.
Yeah, let's say that the student created a form. We'll go ahead and get the Get Feedback button. And there we go. We got that sample that provides feedback, holistic feedback. And by the way, that overall holistic score at the very top is really an average of the trait scores below. And I won't spend a tremendous amount of time on this because I know you guys are veteran teachers. But as a reminder, all of the instructional feedback is really behind those links. So if Matt clicks on ideas, for instance, it's going to open up a window where the student starts to understand why they scored what they did and what they can do to improve their writing. And so you can see, now this is a new UI design, excuse me, in how we lay out that feedback. I think as a teacher, it's important to know that the feedback delivered to the student is based on two things. It's based on the score point they receive, because we know this student received a 1 and they need the most basic level of instruction. And it's also based on the grade level associated with the prompt. You might be communicating the same instructional feedback to a 4th grader as we do a 7th grader, but the fact is that we're going to use text that says that they are comparable for each. So now I'm showing here the essay examples because a lot of praise for the teachers really like it. We give an example of an essay at every score point, and then the students able to click on the thumbs down or the thumbs up to get a better sense of what makes this a really good essay or what makes it a poor essay. Okay. Any questions about some of the things that you just seen? Good. feedback they get delivered when they receive a 1 versus a 4 or 5 is different. We know that they need to really sharpen those writing skills to get to that 5 or 6 score. Okay, so that we can call that as this, and then let me just call attention to a couple other changes. So, as we showed you earlier, with that was composing or copying and pasting the sample in the text box. And spelling and grammar tools change. They're more dynamic. They're right there in the text input box. But we still get a score on spelling and grammar, as you can see right when that cursor is. We're telling the students that we detected 3 misspelled words, and that they used basically the spell checker icon below. And boy, we got 11 grammar errors, and used the grammar check icon below. And so if Matt scrolls down just a little bit more, you can also see too that based on what I wrote, you can see that I've been given my next set of text as well. Gives them an idea. And that's going to go ahead and expand again into several questions that will help the students form a very solid main idea from which to work from. So Matt, it's up to you if you want to show how the grammar and spell checker work, but they're pretty self-explanatory. The kids, you just have to come down here, and you can see that you can click on the word that you like to replace it with. So if you want to click on this, yeah, and you can if you want. Otherwise, there's a definition. And then the grammar check as well will detect grammar errors and give suggestions for how they can be improved as well. The teacher, if you want to, you can turn the teachers off. Support teachers. So I don't think we need to go into showing you what another response looks like, because I think, as a veteran teacher, you know how WriteToLearn works. The one last thing I did want to show you that I meant to show you earlier was there is a new button down there on the right-hand side called Add References or Citations. And we really added this in response to teachers who were saying, hey, we're doing a lot more argument-based writing prompts. And these students are required to cite their evidence. Where can they do it WriteToLearn? So right here, we are not scoring it or analyzing it. I mean, that's an important thing to know. But we are making it available for students to cite their evidence or include any kind of references they want to their piece of writing. Okay, any questions? Okay. So just as a reminder, students in South Dakota in grades 5, 7, and 10 need to respond at least 1 to 2 unique prompts. But I'd like to again stress that this is a tool that the state has purchased for your use, and you could easily integrate this into your existing curriculum and use it as an opportunity for your students to practice their writing skills. Common core such as, practice writing across the curriculum, and WriteToLearn really can address those needs quite well. One of the quotes I usually share with educators when presenting is that the National Commission on Writing came out and said if our students are ever to become proficient in writing, 2 things are going to happen. They're going to have to double the amount of time they spend writing, and they're going to have to write across the curriculum. And I think WriteToLearn does a beautiful job of addressing both of those requirements to build better writers across the U.S. Okay, so if there are no other questions, Matt, we can go back to the select a new activity and show them a little bit about the new vocabulary exercises that are available with covering everything you wanted to know or learn about with WriteToLearn. And please just have any questions, Matt, because I'm more than happy to stop and go back or review or anything at all. Okay, you can see here that the status on that activity is keep working, and my time left has been reduced to 5. Know that every time the student clicks the Get Feedback button, that is considered an attempt, and the number of tries decrements by 1. The student can also go back in at any time as a reminder, like one is completely web-based. If there is a combination of a computer, internet access, and login credentials, the student can work really from anywhere. It is allowable by you. Okay, so I want to just briefly show you, know how summary writing works. Let me show you these new vocabulary activities that we added in. And that's going to go ahead and what he's going to do is he's going to, here's a series of sentences whereby he's expected to select the right answer to put in his place. And when he doesn't get it right on the third time, we bring up the definition, part of speech. We give up 2 examples of that word used in an alternative sentence. These are key words from the reading passage that we know the student really must know in order to be successful with that reading passage. So he's purposely, excuse me, going through these questions or these sentences and filling them in, sometimes with the correct answer, sometimes with the incorrect answer. And on the back end, we're writing an algorithm that is keeping track of the words the student knows and doesn't know, or ones that we're just not quite sure on. And I think this is really what personalized learning is really all about. Focusing on the words and teaching the academic vocabulary words or domain-based words that the student needs to know, not all of the words for the sake of all of the words. So here, Matt's going to go ahead and click on that View Vocabulary Scoreboard. Click on that. And you can see that he's received an overall score of a fair. We have assessed that certain words are in progress, meaning we're not quite sure. We'd probably like to move that student through several more sentences whereby they were asked to use the word in probably use the word within the sentence structure. There's definitely one that we have determined they don't know, and then there's this one that we think they've mastered or that they clearly understand. Now, we won't, for the sake of time, go down that path or that step, but that is what we would do. We would ask the student to keep practicing the vocabulary, and they would work, they would click on that top link. But for the sake of time, we're going to move on to the reading passage, and then Matt can, there we go. All right. This looks very familiar to you. This is one of hundreds and hundreds of reading passages. If you're wondering where these reading passages come from, most of them are from popular Pearson imprints, such as Pearson Protocol, Pearson Scott-Ford, and Campbell Biology. And a new feature here I wanted to call out was that text help toolbar. You may notice that there's a couple of highlighters that have been added. Teachers had asked that we give highlighters so students could highlight the main and supporting ideas within that reading passage. So they could go back and look and get a better feel for whether the students has that understanding of what the main idea is and what those supporting ideas are as well. And then Matt's going to go ahead and click the Start New Summary button. And I have to say, while he's doing that this is probably, as I mentioned, really one of the golden nuggets within WriteToLearn. There was a time when we saw students writing 6 times the number here is the text input box where the students will write their summary. And again, we've got the new grammar spell checking, new word prediction. And grammar's new on the summary side. We didn't use to check for grammar, but that's a new feature we added in there. And so now if you'll just go ahead and copy and paste a summary, this comes into that text box. So just remind you, the schools as students receive a summary writing activity. Here we set the choice to 12, that's the maximum number. And we've got a scoreboard that really, the blue bars are representing how well the students did at calling out those main ideas. Now, another new feature are tests. And you can see that when the students did perform well, such as the section on population, grade, death rate, birth rate, and death rate, we provided a hint to the students for scaffolding tool. Again, regularize the question, why do population growth so rapidly in the past? The student can translate that if it's helpful or have it read aloud. So that's specifically an idea that should have been included in the student summary and was not. And so we're hoping that by asking that question that will lead them back to the passage for more close reading, and they can introduce that idea in their review. Pretty much I think everything else is the same on the summary writing. Are there any questions at all about this component, how it works, and anything at all? Okay. Well, Matt, I think we're ready to go ahead and move on over to the teacher side. Very good. Thanks, guys. So, just a couple of things I want to remind you of. On the left-hand side are your recording tools. And we'll just walk through these really quickly. Now, I don't even know if you need to click on the first one, but that just shows the average class performance. The one that I think is really the one that's most used by the teacher that we can go ahead and click on that one is the overview first, the second one down. Select the class. You might only have one class, you may have several classes. Select the class and the activity that you would like to view. We'll look at the description of the remarkable place. And you're going to see grade. You're going to see a very color-coded dashboard that shows how each student in your class performed in each one of those 4 category areas with information on counts and errors and percentages to the far right-hand side. It gives you a really good at-a-glance look at how your class is performing. And then down below where everything is total and average, you can look to see what areas you really want to focus your instruction on. So if you are using WriteToLearn as capacity, teachers when they're making class names is that students, when a student logs into WriteToLearn, they see all their writing activities, whether it be essay writing or content writing. There is no grade level associated with those activities. So they might be the seventh grader working on a fifth grade prompt, or an eighth grader working on a 10th grade prompt. The only thing that students see is the name of the class that they're referring to. And so I just would caution you to when you're naming your classes, to make sure that you're not putting any of these descriptors in there that might give away ability levels or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm going to create a class. And as a reminder, use the tab below to enroll your students in that class. Now, Pearson has basically uploaded the entire state student roster by school so that you can go through and actually choose and enroll whatever students you'd like to enroll in your class. And when you click on that enroll tab, it's going to pop up search for the students, and you'll see all those students that you have enrolled. And if you like, you can just click the enroll button on the far right-hand side. Okay. And then just click submit whenever you're ready. And you just created a class and enrolled your students. Now, I don't know too many teachers that only have 5 students, so you have to go through and grab more and more to complete your class. However, you may want to just put me aside in this class because they have unique learning ability, and you may want to make some adjustments for these kids. So it could be that you do only have 5 in there. Once you get done with your class, you will click the assignment button at the top there. So just think of it as moving along the top. And here now you can go to select activities, and you can identify the essay topic or summary reading passages you would like to assign to this class. Where you see ELL, those are prompts specifically for English learners, and where you see summary ELD, that is English learning development, receives student language learning. Okay, so we added those digits here. And you can simply search that content by the type, the grade level, or subject area if you're looking for a particular subject area. And the find button will then pull up all of the content that fits into the criteria. And you can see that if you are looking for every topic that produces trade feedback and includes essay writing tips, you can just go to the far right-hand side of the descriptor and you'll see that it will give all that information in there. All right. So what I have to do here is simply select it next to the far left-hand side. Just go ahead and select it with save assignment. Guess what? In the second period class, the students can now log into WriteToLearn, and they've got their first writing activity. It's an opinion prompt for this grade. Useful or necessary. That's how simple it is. Now, the state of South Dakota is quite flexible on the requirements for your students as far as writing activities goes. They're allowing you to really basically select any prompt that you like. It doesn't have to be necessarily assigned to that grade level, though you're in grade 5 and you find a 6th grade prompt or 4th grade prompt that your kids that you think will be especially engaging, you're welcome to assign any prompt at any grade level create or author your own prompt using that prompt creation tool. That's not new this year. I know it was free on that a couple years ago, so that's another option for you as well. And then the last thing I just wanted to show you is the settings tool. That settings tool, as a reminder, we made a slight change to that, whereby we do 2 levels of change. We're allowed for 2 levels of setting changes. The first one is for all class activities, and you can change the number of attempts, whether you want spell or grammar check or word prediction mark on or off, or maybe your kids don't need the language selection support, and maybe you just want to turn that off for all of your class activities. You can also go in at the single class level or single activity level and go ahead and select the activity you want to make adjustments to. And there you go. There's your options there to make changes specific for that activity. Just remember, when you get done, that you'll scroll down a little bit towards the bottom. Whatever changes you decide to make, it's really important you remember to click the Save Changes button so that it sticks. And it's a wonderful tool to really allow you to address different ability levels or areas of abilities by using it. Okay, any questions before we go right back to just a couple of slides, and then looks like we'll end just right on time today. Any questions at all about the teacher's tools menu? And so we can the prompt creation tool. This is the one that the green question marks really can answer all your questions about what we're looking for in boxes or fields. And we even have a prompt writing guide. A lot of teachers like this tool. A lot of them, they did not give straight feedback. They did an overall holistic score only to the students. I just want you to be aware of it.
Yep, and like Sue talked about earlier, if you create your own prompt and your students write to that, that does meet our submission requirements. So you can do that as well. We want it to fit your classroom, fit with what you're teaching, so that's why we make it so you can make your own essay prompts. And I was just going to point these out too, just that there's a Common Core curriculum guide, and there is a principal graphic organizer too, if you want it. No problem.
Well, yeah, we added in some new features. We added in that new Common Core curriculum guide, really help you use the program in support of the new standards. And I actually think it came out quite well.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are printable graphic organizers that you can use with your students. So I think there are 2 nice things to do that we just added in this year. So, Matt, if we could go back to my slide deck where we have just a couple more slides, maybe 2 or 3.
Somehow start it over. Oh, there it worked. I don't know why I did it the first time.
Okay, right, okay. So the guide will actually, I will spend a tremendous amount of time on this, because the guide takes you through this as well. So one of the things that I have to say we're most proud of as a client team for WriteToLearn is that WriteToLearn was built to address the standards before we even knew about the standards. It really stressed, a student writing every day across subject areas, particularly in science and social studies, and incorporating technology into practice. And we reinforced that in the product with everyday writing across the curriculum and engaging the students in that cycle of how you get feedback provided. revising reading, academic vocabulary, and we stress those important vocabulary exercise terms of exercising the students to the word self-defined sentences. And they're always personalized to the student group, so exercises become very personalized. You'll advance to the next slide now. Common format entries with source documents and using student writing ability to demonstrate the ability to summarize informational text. Goes back to the nearly 1,000 informational text that we have, ranging from grade level 3 through 12, with your students to read and summarize. Again, I highly recommend it. It's just amazing effectiveness results with that component. We really built it up, but with the primary writing component, it's amazing how quickly those results become evident. And then, of course, there is a new focus on evidence-based writing to authentic text. We've got all kinds of new innovations that we've added, including argument-based prompts and concepts to document or document. And Court stresses that students must read frequently more difficult text. One of the things that you'll notice is if you start reading passages for your students to summarize, is there's a new text complexity noted description field called RMM, and that's short for reading maturity metrics. That's Pearson's text maturity metric, and we applied it to all of the text within WriteToLearn in a stage foundation beta. RMM, so we can have greater reliability and validity, greater in up to 30% greater than all other previous readability methods. And we do still include the sound measurement. We include RMM, and we have correlated common core rating. So something to think about there. And now if you'll advance one more. And thanks for that. I just want to again see if there are any questions that I can answer for you, and reminding you that WriteToLearn.net is an outstanding resource to use for information, for social media, for pretty much anything you want to know about the product.
All right, thank you, Sue. And I'm just going to just go through these really briefly. So we already kind of talked about this, but how do you access your account? You'll need to contact your district testing coordinator. They're the ones that create your username and password, and they're the ones that will also give you the URL to teacher and student interfaces. And how do students access their accounts? There's a student URL. Once you get the URL, you'll have to pass it on to your students. Maybe you have it on their website. The username for any student you create, the username always has to be the 9-digit SIMS number. That's that state ID that the state gives them, which is in Infinite Campus. And your students, make sure to check to see if your students are in there. A lot of places last year, they created students even though they were already in there, so then they were in there twice. So just make sure that you check it, and if you need to create new students, make sure their username is 9-digit SIMS number. Password should be the first 4 characters of the last name, plus the 4-digit birth month and day. So let's say you have John Smith, born on Pi Day 3/14. This would be SMIT, the first 4 letters, and then 0314. So that's just how you would do that. And it just makes it so the passwords are always the same as each other. Flexible in the classroom, any essay prompt can be used. Doesn't matter which one you use. Students can copy and paste into the program. So if they first write it in Word, they can copy and paste it into WriteToLearn. You can adjust scoring and passing thresholds, which Sue showed you. Any classroom can use it. And essay prompts must be used for compliance purposes. You can use the summary activities, but the essay ones are the ones that we are monitoring. Flexibility with accommodations, just make sure to follow your student's IEP. No accommodations will invalidate the assessment, so you can do whatever accommodations you want. And here's just some troubleshooting. I won't go through these, but because if you want to look at these, you can just download them. And what other teachers are doing, these are just different things that teachers around the state are doing. You can check these out too if you want. And off-grade licenses, if you have students, or if you want your students to use the programs that are not in 5th, 7th, and 10th grade, it is $10 per student. The state pays for the 5th, 7th, and 10th graders. And here's the contact person once again, Carrie Austin, which is also on that website. Some additional resources you can check out. And we will have optional Q&A webinars later on, but those are if requested. So if you want another webinar, just request it and we'll make it happen. And final reminders, WriteToLearn is an instructional tool. Almost all students should already be in the system. There is no limit to the number of teacher accounts in the district, no limit to the number of essays and summaries the students write to, and great flexibility in how the program is used in the classroom. We just want to emphasize that it is supposed to go right with your curriculum. So if like you're teaching on Romeo and Juliet, you can have your students write an essay about Romeo and Juliet. And it's more of a program like that just to go right along with your curriculum, right along with instruction, and just constant feedback, which is nice. It helps with that whole formative assessment process too. And if you ever have any questions, there's my contact information one more time. And that is all of the slides. So we'll just open it up to questions now. Are there any questions at this time? All right, well, we will stay on the phone for a couple minutes, so if you do have questions, feel free to ask away. If not, thank you for joining, and hope you have a good school year, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, thank you.